Hello, everybody. It's Jana and Carolyn with the Holistic Institute of Wellness.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well out there today and enjoying the month that we are entering into of October.
Fall is in the air.
Fall is in the air. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, I welcome it personally because, to be quite honest, this has been one of the hottest summers I think I've ever had to endure. So,
Potting.
I'm grateful for some cool air.
Potting.
So today we wanted to talk with you all about making a sacred space for creativity.
Yes.
And we are actually in a sacred space today.
Actually, we are. This is our sound room. My sound room that was born out of just good old love.
Yep.
Good old love. Everything was created purposefully. The colors were created. The instrumentation that you see, everything's been purposely created.
Yeah, and also it's now evolving into a studio, which is really exciting for our holistic wellness revolution. So we're super excited about that. So what is sacred space? I thought it was important, Jana, to take a few minutes to talk about that first and just see what sacred space is. And really, it can be anything you want it to be. I mean, a big piece of that is just having setting the intention around it. That's a big part of it. It's essentially a space that you can utilize to get grounded in, find your center. Can also be a space to practice self-worth, meditate, connect deeper to yourself. And I meant self-worth, yes, and self-love. You know, just doing those, just moments of gratitude for yourself. That's super important. So it needs to be, doesn't need to be any particular way. It just needs to be a place that you really connect with.
Right. And you'll know it. Like, it is very palpable what happens when you find your space. It's very the peace, right? That's part of the groundedness. The peace that'll come over you is it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
So you will absolutely know this, and it doesn't have to be a big grandiose room.
Right.
Doesn't have to be a grandiose room at all. So,
but you do want to think about, like, in your creation of it, just like you created this room, you want to think about your colors, your textures.
Absolutely.
Right?
Right. So when I created this space, I wanted sunset colors. Like, I was really clear because of how they affect me. Right? I knew if I was going to be working in this room, because this is the sound room.
Right.
I wanted it, and I needed to be able to fuse with it, if you will. It's almost like a fusion. But I needed to be comfortable in it. And I know my main goal for creating this room was a cocoon-like feeling.
Yes.
When people came in here, and there's a couch to the left of me, when they go to lay down on that couch and that door closes behind us and the lighting is perfect, it's a very warm, safe cocoon. And then, of course, we bring the music in, but the actual space itself is very soothing and comfortable.
And that's part of that intention that you put into it, right?
Very much so.
And so that is a big piece of it. As I mentioned earlier, you want to set specific intentions around your space. So, like Jana said, when people walk in here, they do feel like we've had several people that have said, this feels like a womb, or that cocoon feeling. So you really want to create that kind of energy and vibe that you want yourself to feel, because the other piece of this is, are you going to let people into your space, right? Or are you going to keep it private? You may want to just keep it private.
And if you can, of course, we've got a bunch of moms out there that, of course, the kids want to know, where's mom going? And so we are always saying, if you can pull it off, make this your space. And there's an easy way you can tell the kids and tell your family members or spouse, You just need some time. This is
Right.
mommy's space or daddy's space or whoever's it is. But this is literally your little piece of the world.
Yeah.
And it's imperative anymore. We really all need someplace that we can just be.
Yeah.
And if it's for 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, it really is. We are all, again, like we always say every month, there's a lot going on right now. So it is imperative that we can all connect in to that location, whether it be actual physical or just invisible in prayer or meditation, to help you just keep grounded during this time.
And location's a big part of that. That's a really big piece of it, Jana, because one of the things that you do want to decide is, do you want to create this space on the inside? Do you want it to be on the outside? Is it going to be like in a small, perhaps quiet space within a room? Is it going to be in a room? Do you want to pick a spot in your garden? Do you have land? Do you want to create something outside on the land? So where you create it is another big piece of it.
Yes.
And how that feels to you. And then, Jana, why don't you, about different elements that people might want to put in their space too, because that's a really big piece of it.
Right. Well, I was just thinking as you were sharing about the where, some people will just choose a tree. Right. I mean, it can be a tree. Right. Again, remember, how do you respond?
Right.
So the elements, I'm a big, of course, with Native American experience, I love following the different directions, right? To follow the 4 directions. So I know people that will set up altars and they will put them in the configuration of the 4 directions, and they'll be very purposeful with what they put in each direction. Because in the Native American world and other cultures, each direction has its own purpose. So just an example, the direction of the east represents the element of air. And in Native American cultures and others, air represents our bird family. So I know a lot of people that will put a feather. I know I do. I put a feather in my east direction, right? Just one little feather. That's all you need. And again, make sure that feather is very, very soulful to you, preferably. Like you just don't want to buy it off of something, buy it off of online.
Want it to have meaning.
Correct. That's it. You want it to have meaning.
Yeah, and some people put plants, flowers. You could do crystals.
Absolutely. I love candles and incense. I literally start my morning every single morning. It's one of the first things I do, right? I will always light a candle. I like 2 in particular. And I will light an incense. And I've been doing that for so long now. I do not know how not to do that.
And you also have water.
And I have
an
a
element
fountain
of water.
I do.
Yeah. So
I have a fountain that I plug in.
Yeah.
So, and I've got these lovely lights that I plug in. So to me, it's very homey.
Yeah.
And I like to start my morning out. Remember, I get up early, so the world is still asleep when I get up. And it's very soft, and it's a very quiet re-entry back into reality. We've all been in dreamland, or we've been super duper deep in delta phase. And so when you come out of that sleep, and if it's by an alarm, right, it's still a tad jolting, we have to reorient ourselves to this reality and this plane of existence. So I'm a big fan of creating a soft environment.
Yep. And you can also bring in your favorite books.
Yes.
And of course, my favorite, a journal. Or several. Depending on what you're journaling.
That's right.
Whether you're dumping your mind or you're focusing on your gratitude or
manifestation
or your ideas, or one can never have too many. Right. So, but truly some of the incredible benefits of creating this space is it really does. It's a stress reduction.
Definitely.
It really reduces the stress because it just gives you that sense of,
right.
Take a breath. allows you to, experience that peace and calm.
Mm-hmm. It's important.
Yeah.
Super important. And again, we know people that live in New York and they have just barely anything for an apartment, but just simply due to real estate and its size. And they've figured out a little corner. Just a little corner.
Exactly.
And that's their spot.
That's their spot.
And you don't have to be in New York to do it. It's going to be here. So
yeah, if you do tiny space living,
right,
you can create really cool shelving and just streamline your place and set up these little neat just sacred spaces or altars, as Jana said, and just have them wherever you want to just remind you. Just a couple other benefits that it brings. It really, having that space for yourself really brings a sense of clarity and focus. And it also really helps with concentration.
Yes.
So especially if you're trying to, problem solve and that sort of thing. And one of the things that we have this tendency to do is like, we want to solve a problem, so we just think about it all the time. But honestly, what occurs is when we step back from it, actually, and we distract our mind with something creative, whether it be meditation or whether it be, I don't know, journaling or painting or whatever it may be, then the solution typically comes to us.
Right.
So these are just some reasons why to create sacred space and some helpful tips on how to create sacred space and, just the intention behind it. So
Got it.
So I think what we'll do now is take a few minutes. I know, Jana, you have something special you want to share with our followers today.
I do.
So let's take a few minutes and maybe draw a card and,
Okay.
tell us about them.
We got brand new. They're called Urban Crow Oracles. Let me bring this forward. Urban Crow Oracles. There you go. And so these are brand new. I just got them. I think I've used them twice or so. And remember the crow in Native American cultures, Hopi, all sorts of different traditions. The raven, the crow, very auspicious, wonderfully known for their knowledge and their divinity and their intellect and their loyalty. They are they stay together. They're like almost pack mentality. So they're a beautiful crow. Of course, a lot of the mysticism around crow is they are very magical. Certainly beautiful, popular pictures of Merlin and a crow hanging out in the good old days. So, thank you, sweet. So we're going to go ahead and pull, if you will, please just direct your energy toward the cards. And I want everybody just to take a gentle breath. We're going to close your eyes and just set your intention and energy toward the cards, toward the screen, if you will, please. And today we're going to ask Crow what the message is. What is the message that we are in need of today, both individually and collectively? We take this moment and we communicate and we connect in with Crow. We can see ourselves on top of a tree branch, and you are calling out to the other crows. You can hear the caw, right? That's usually, I know for me, that's what I hear. I hear caw, caw. And you are all just gathering together, happy to be with each other. Feeling the wind underneath your wings as you are flying into the tree to find your branch. And you find that you land very gently on your branch. And it is a huge tree. It's a beautiful tree that can shelter everyone, especially if it is raining or it is storming. And it's a safe location. And you look around and you see that you are definitely not alone. The other crows have come to be with you, to be in this beautiful tree of protection. And we take this moment, and we have pulled the card called growth. Called growth.
Beautiful.
That's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. There we go.
Growth.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are beautiful cards.
Crow becomes more vocal and aggressive when it is time for the young ones to learn how to fly. This is a pivotal moment in the young bird's life, and once this lesson has been mastered, the world becomes so much greater. You too may be at a crucial moment, and the lesson may be difficult at first, but once you understand it, a new world will open to you. Growth directs your attention to areas of your life that have become remarkably different as a result of gaining a skill or understanding that you did not possess in the past. For example, learning a new language may have opened the door to new opportunities. Developing an understanding of your triggers that lead to sabotaging behavior or habits can help you overcome a block that once created stagnation. You may pull this card if you are on the cusp of a growth spurt, as a change that will move your life in a new direction is approaching.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's a great
spurt.
That's a great message.
That is a fabulous message.
I love it. Beautifully timed, I think, too.
Right.
Because we're going into the fall season, so things are changing and new directions, and even though sometimes things have a tendency to slow down in the fall and winter, although fall can be pretty busy actually, but change is around us everywhere. So I think it's
beautiful.
It's beautifully timed.
Beautifully timed.
Awesome. Thank you, Jana.
You are so
And that was
welcome.
a beautiful meditation. Thank you for that. I love
You're
that.
very welcome.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so
Thank
very
you,
much.
everybody.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Yes.
And again, wishing you a beautiful fall.
Yeah.
And my goodness, enjoy it. This is one of my favorite time of the year. And I know it's yours because you have a birthday coming up. So anyway, thank you so much. And just wishing you all many, many blessings.
Many blessings.
Yeah. Be well.